Welcome back to Sports Now. Let's talk about Nate Diaz. So he has officially been removed from the UFC roster, which he's 37 years old, and most fighters retire between the ages of 35 and 40. So he's right there. However, he isn't necessarily retiring. He's just focusing more on boxing. He had an amazing UFC career. He had 22 wins and 13 losses, although I'm more of the mindset that it should have been 21 wins and 14 losses, because that whole Chimaev not making weight back in September for Nate's last fight was definitely staged. My conspiracy. I think that they knew Chimaev would slaughter Nate just like he slaughtered Holland, and so they paid Chimaev to miss weight. Also, guys miss weight all the time and the other fighter can decide to still fight, so Nate could have still fought Chimaev, but obviously with Ferguson, he had a better chance of winning, and he did win, so he was able to make the transition from UFC seamlessly. Either way though, Nate Diaz has had a great impact on the UFC world, so let's go ahead and watch some of his UFC highlights. Nate hits hard. Dang. I love how they always have to like carry him off of the person because he wants to keep going. Ugh. Jeez. So you can even see here that he has really great boxing skills. Like, you know, we know he's good at jiu-jitsu too, but like these boxing skills are insane. He don't stop. Dang, that's like his signature move, huh? Just pounding them when they're on the ground. I hate this part. I hate how they can just hit the head, but I guess that's a part of the sport, right? Some of these fighters look so big to me, but Nate just looks like a small person, a decent size, but like he goes in, like he genuinely doesn't care, you know? I guess they're the same weight, but you know how someone could be the same weight and still look bigger? Nate looks so small to me, and then when he starts fighting, I'm like, dang. But he's actually 6 feet tall, so he's not that small. He looks so much younger. Dang. This fight looks older too, because it's like outdoors. That's one thing I love about Nate. Like, take him to the ground, he's going to dominate you on the ground. Keep him up on his feet, and he's going to dominate you with his hands. So it's like a win-win for him. Like, what do you do when someone's on top of you doing that? Oh my gosh, brutal, Nate. It must be really hard because Nick's like a really good fighter, and he has a really great reputation for Nate to come behind him and have to like create his own name. But hey, he's doing a good job. He did an amazing job. Man, I love that. Clearly, Nate has phenomenal jiu-jitsu skills, but don't sleep on his boxing skills either. It's no secret that Nate has been training in boxing since he was young, and his brother Nick Diaz even beat Alfonso Roca back in 2005 in a professional boxing match, so some might say that it runs in the family. Also, Nate's boxing trainer Richard Perez has trained other professional boxers, so I feel like Nate is all set to transition into boxing, and it looks like he's going to be fighting Logan Paul, which should be a great matchup, seeing that Logan Paul has already said that Nate will be easy work, and Nate even had an altercation with Logan Paul's team at his last fight, so the tension is there, and I personally cannot wait to see how that fight plays out between the two of them. On another note though, I'm really looking forward to Nate and McGregor doing a tiebreaker, right? Because back in March of 2016, Nate handed McGregor his first UFC loss through a rear naked choke, and then McGregor redeemed himself in July of 2016. I use quotations because I really think that that fight should have been Nate's, but I'm really hoping that they do their tiebreaker in boxing next year. I know McGregor has done, I think, one boxing match against Mayweather, and he lost, but who knows? Maybe he'll cross over to fight Nate, and that would be amazing to see. Thank you for joining me today on Sports Now. Drop any predictions or thoughts you have on Nate Diaz and how his career is going to go. I will end right here, and like Nick Diaz says, don't be scared, homie.